Midwest Steel Carports has experienced exponential growth. Thankfully, due to every one of our clients, we've been able to keep moving forward and coming out stronger than before. However, with this growth came growing pains. We began to notice that we were running out of space. We didn't have enough room to manufacture and much less store inventory to support the demand. This was a problem. Because of this, we decided it was time to expand. As experienced builders, we took on the project of designing and manufacturing a brand new facility. Now we're looking at this project as the beginning of many new challenges and opportunities. This new manufacturing facility symbolizes all the hard work everyone here has put in order to see us grow.
When Midwest Steel reached out to us for help with this project, we were very excited. We've been working with our friends at Midwest Steel since 2020 and have been able to help them make their customers' project come to life. These projects can range from residential garages to commercial structures. Once we got the call, we knew it was our time to help them make their own vision come to life. Before anything can begin, the site had to be graded and ready for our team. Midwest Steel did a great job at preparing the site so my team could come in and get straight to work. Our crew of about 9 to 10 people began by adding the forms and creating the footings and reinforcing it with rebar. The footings are crucial for any project, especially one this size, to support the weight-bearing walls. For this specific building, our footings ended up being 24 inches wide by 42 inches in depth with number 3 rebar. Once completed, the footings had to be inspected and approved, because without the proper structure and strength, the slab wouldn't pass the test of time. Once the footings were approved, we moved on to reinforcing the slab. The slab is a monolithic, or also referred to as a turn-down slab. For a slab this size, we added a combination of wire mesh and fiber mesh on top of the standard rebar to reinforce it and make sure it would withstand the weight of their team's equipment. This pour was very intense. When doing this slab, we were basically working against time and trying to finish before we got hit with the rain. Our team knew that once we got hit with rain, we'd have to delay the project for at least a week, and this was not going to work. First, we had to make sure our concrete trucks were ready to go. For a project this massive, we had to bring in 23 trucks with a concrete boom pump. Everything had to be timed precisely. These trucks cannot be more than 45 to 60 minutes away from the site because we run the risk of not having a fresh mix. From here, our team began the pour process, starting with the footings, and then moved on to the slab. Slab thickness varies depending on how much foot traffic and weight the slab must withstand. With Midwest Steel storing raw steel material and using heavy equipment, the slab ended up being 6 inches thick. With our team feeling the pressure to make sure the slab was completed before rain, one of our teammates actually ended up falling into the fresh concrete. Once the fresh concrete was fully poured, our team began the finish process. This consists of our teams using power trowels and concrete riders to give us that project smooth finish we always strive for. Afterwards, the slab had to cure before it could carry any weight. It was critical that Midwest Steel waited at least 28 days before construction, or they'd run the risk of damaging the concrete and possibly even causing the building to collapse. After everything, we were finally able to finish the slab that Midwest Steel Carports entrusted us with. We knew the meaning behind this project, and we were glad we were able to work alongside a great team to see it come to life.
Once our manufacturing team got word of the new manufacturing facility, they got straight to work. The project began by our construction manager reviewing the engineer plans to make sure that the building was going to meet all local codes. Then, we entered the design phase and had a prototype created for the design of the trusses. From there, we took inventory and determined what parts were required and passed along these specifications to the manufacturing team. Then cutting and welding began. Once this step was completed, quality control inspected the work and gave the final stamp of approval. Once the building was manufactured, we moved on to the construction. First, our experienced builders set out the base rails. Base rails are extremely important. as they support the structural stability of the entire building. Once the base rails were set, we erected the legs and the trusses. Here, our team brought in heavy equipment to make sure we were able to support the weight of the material as we were raising the legs and trusses and inserting them into the base rails. Our project had many openings, so the headers were installed first and then the trusses were placed on top. After the trussing was installed, we added hat channels to reinforce the roof. These channels supported the vertical roof and panels to be installed later. Afterward, we moved on to the diagonal bracing. This is structural bracing that supports the weight of the sidewalls. After the hat channels, this bracing was bolted onto the framework. This step is crucial because if the diagonal bracing is not installed, we risk having the sidewalls collapse and cave in. From the diagonal bracing, we moved on to the Girts. These are extra square tubing that are used on the sides of the structure to support the vertical panels. These were installed by being bolted directly onto the legs. After the framework was completed, we finally moved on to the sheeting. Here, our team placed the steel panels against the framework and bolted them directly into the framing. After the sheeting was installed, we were on to the finishing touches, which included the trim work and the accessories. Our team of builders used special trim for each area of the building. These areas included the roof eaves, the corners, the base, and the openings. From there, we added all our accessories, which included our overhead doors and service doors. Once everything was completed, we couldn't help but take a step back and admire our work. MW Steel prides itself on focusing on the details. Working on a project this special made everything more amazing. Our team has had a great journey up to this point, and this new manufacturing facility marks the beginning of a new chapter.